Yes, you picked a career, but before you get offended and comment that my face has all the appeal of a giant thumb, which I absolutely get, let me tell you that I picked a career too. Being any type of creative professional today seems like an ill-advised choice at best. At worst, you've signed on to a life that, despite any level of outward success, makes most of those around you acknowledge your accomplishments with a good for you. Now, if you want to confine your artistic endeavors to a nights and weekend hobby, you're safe. No one will say anything about what you do. However, once you venture out and declare that this is your livelihood, someone usually puts the back of their hand to your head to check your temperature. But why? Despite all the wildly talented folks out there creating beautiful works of art in pancake batter, we do not live in a society that values art. And this isn't cynical. It's a fact that we all have to understand to be happy as creative professionals. The ironic thing is that everyone loves art, but that's finished, proven art. In a way, we're obsessed with it. And I would clarify that by saying art with a capital A, referring to the arts of prestige that we hold in awe, meaning everyone has their favorite musical artist, authors, painters, and movies. People just don't want to see how the sausage gets made, which is our art with a little a. In many cases, we're the arts that help businesses reach their goals in a competitive market, and in many cases, totally behind the scenes. And in trying to convince people that these two arts are the same can be tricky. But where does this come from? For us here in the States, it starts in grade school, where the arts exist outside of the core subjects and even outside of physical education. And athletics are important, extremely important. Beyond the physical benefits of school PE programs and organized sports, it also naturally fosters teamwork and camaraderie. Again, very important. But with the arts being relegated to the lowest level in most schools, it gives them an almost non-essential status. And as we know, in most cases, it's the first thing that's cut from educational budgets. And that thinking is reinforced throughout our lives, and in many ways, it stays with us. So yes, I may be talking about the general public who may not get it, but the professionals charged with buying creative work and those working in our markets, they understand, right? Well, yes and no. They are aware more than most of the talent that goes into making art, but they're also just as aware of the shortcuts that technology brings to a more than passable result in a company's healthy bottom line. With this sophisticated automation producing these amazing results, it's hard for even the most savvy, cynical, would-be customers not to be influenced by the instant gratification that this tech brings. And I get it. It ticks many of the boxes in a very general way. Unfortunately, many of these businesses think that these general results are more than adequate for their needs. I will admit that the advances in technology that I've seen in my career have given me opportunities that I wouldn't have dreamt possible in the late 80s. The downside, though, is that these technical advancements also confirm the fact that one click of a downloaded app will potentially erase years of an artist's work and empower the end user, our potential client, until they're bored. Also, the barrier to entry in the creative world has dropped drastically, both in financial and educational terms, which makes it even harder for those of us trying to charge appropriately for our services. Advancements in technology, specifically advancements that automate creative functions, have shaped the marketplace, dazzled the public, and left us shell-shocked wondering how we're going to follow it. And while all those reactions to what something like Midjourney can do within a minute is at first revolutionary, it's just a tool. We're the ones that promote it to a godlike status. This is understandable because who better than us can know what goes into creating an elaborate painting, a hit song, or a best-selling fiction? And who better than us has experienced the confusion with applications that excite us with the promise of giving us tools to make our job easier and then kind of leapfrog over our input altogether. So I get it. It's very confusing, and it's us who have everything to lose. So whether it's technology, our culture's view of the arts, it's us. It's you who have to create the environment where your art lives. And where this is undoubtedly a time to pay attention to these changes, we need to also remember that that's all these are, changes. So now the good news. First, we need to see evolving tech as a collaborative tool. Right now, the relative newness of AI, for example, is being evaluated and feared, actually, in its out-of-the-box form. We need to tailor it to our needs. Rather than perceiving artificial intelligence as a threat, we can harness its capabilities as a powerful ally. Artists can experiment with incorporating AI-generated elements into their work by creating hybrid pieces that blur the lines between human intuition and machine intelligence. This collaborative approach not only pushes the boundaries of artistic expression, but also positions artists just like you as pioneers in both the exploration of art and technology. Next, we need to utilize technology for exposure and marketing. For folks as old as I am, lugging around a huge portfolio to potential clients was just another Monday. But then came artist websites and now social media platforms, online galleries, and e-commerce websites, providing artists with unprecedented opportunities to grow their businesses. We can't take for granted the power that we have to leverage these platforms to build our personal brands. We can engage with followers and create communities that are interested in our work. By embracing technology for self-promotion and marketing, we can navigate the challenges of a competitive art market and establish ourselves as independent entrepreneurs. We're only limited by how much time we want to dedicate to it. Then there's adapting to changing perspectives. This is one that I would stress for those like myself who've seen at least one generation of societal values and perspectives around art evolve, and we have to adapt to remain relevant. Rather than resisting change, creative professionals can engage with contemporary issues and themes that resonate with today's culture. By addressing such topics as sustainability, diversity, and social justice through our art, not only aligns us with the changing societal values, but also positions artists, all of us, as contributors to important dialogues. By staying attuned to the pulse of our society, we can create work that is not only aesthetically compelling, but also culturally and socially impactful. So last, and maybe most important, is cultivating resilience and authenticity. In the face of challenges, technology shifts, and evolving perspectives on art, resilience becomes a vital trait for professional creatives. If I were to say to you that embracing setbacks as opportunities for growth, adapting to change, and maintaining artistic authenticity are essential components of resilience, and that artists who remain true to their vision while staying open-minded are better positioned to thrive today, you would probably see that as generic, well-intended optimism taken on simply to cultivate a positive mindset. And to a certain degree, you would be right. But those are just words. What cultivating resilience and authenticity actually look like on a real day-to-day basis is simply shaking up what you've grown comfortable with. It's a way of saying, okay, this is the style that I do, so let's keep that, but now let's try this. Here are some tools that mimic what I do, and here are some that can potentially muddy the waters of what I do, but then there are some that can help you expand what you do. And once you've taken all that into account and act accordingly to your artistic needs, then you have to remember things are getting more competitive and that your audience's perception may have evolved and changed, so now you're going to have to rethink how you promote yourself and so on and so on and so on. And with all of that, it comes down to this. Does all of that seem like too much to you? If your answer is yes, and you see that as an impossible day and a job, then it is. And if you see it as a constantly changing set of circumstances and elements shuffling around to test you and your creative vision, then you're right where you should be. Thanks very much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.